The Love Wins hashtag has been used for two big events in our recent history, gaining the attention of millions, including celebrities and political figures. According to social constructivism, by gathering together on social movements, we are learning from each other through dialogue and interactions. In '92, James Obergefell and John Arthur met in Ohio, where they both resided. They fell in love and spent over 20 years together. In 2011, John was diagnosed with ALS. James flew John to Maryland and they married on the tarmac, since John was too ill to travel far from the medical transport. John and James spent the next 3 months fighting to have their marriage recognized in their home state of Ohio, so that James would be recognized on John's death certificate. John sued the state and worked diligently with the Human Rights Campaign to get the case to the Supreme Court. To gain attention for the upcoming Supreme Court hearing, the Human Rights Campaign used Facebook, as many new movements do, to gain traction and attention to their cause. They gained 700,000 visitors on one day alone. The majority opinion petition gained 100,000 new signatures in less than 48 hours. The Human Rights Facebook page requested their supporters to share their status and change their profile picture to the red version of their logo pictured here. Over the next day, 71,000 users shared the status, and millions of people, corporations, and celebrities made this logo their new profile picture. On April 28, 2015, thanks in large part to social media sharing the cause and bringing so much attention to it, the decision came back 5-4 to allow gay marriage in 50 states. James took to social media after the decision to thank everyone for supporting the cause. The hashtag gave many individuals, especially gay youth, the ability to find supporters and allies of a cause that is often a hot topic. Gay youth may not be comfortable talking to their friends or family, but could find information privately behind a screen, find people to talk to, and realize that millions of people supported their lifestyle. 14th Amendment, which covers equal protection and citizenship rights, was cited as the reason why same-sex marriage was covered under the Constitution. It has been the cornerstone of many landmark cases, such as Roe v. Wade, which covered reproductive rights, Brown v. Board of Education, which was racial discrimination, and Reed v. Reed. After the decision was released, celebrities and corporations and political figures took to Twitter using the hashtag #LoveWins. By using this hashtag, they are using social media as a platform to show their support and quickly spread the word on this momentous decision. Even the president wanted to be a part of the social movement, and to show his support, he took to Twitter and tweeted, "Today is a big step in our march toward equality. Gay and lesbian couples now have the right to marry, just like anyone else. Hashtag #LoveWins." "LoveWins" was tweeted 6.2 million times within 4 hours of the announcement. Twitter, wanting to support and encourage the use of the hashtags, added one of two custom pride emojis behind the hashtags, such as #LoveWins and pride. Turning to a site like Periscope or Snapchat, which were live streaming from the steps of the Supreme Court, allowed viewers to see firsthand what was happening without a potentially biased news source. Also shown are other popular hashtags, such as pride, #LoveWins, marriage equality, and equality for all. Realizing everyone was using social media to follow the story, news outlets followed their lead. As you can see here, the New York Times took to Snapchat, Washington Post, USA Today, which is showing Obergefell himself speaking outside of the Supreme Court. Lev Vygotsky would have approved of all this social networking. He believed in social constructivism, that our learning develops through dialogue and social interactions, such as seeing a new Facebook profile picture, asking questions, doing your own research, and gaining your own perspective or position on a movement. On June 12, 2016, the #LoveWins hashtag makes a resurgence for an entirely different reason when Omar Mateen opens fire on Pulse, a gay nightclub in Orlando, killing 49 and injuring 53. It was one of the worst hate crimes in U.S. history, and using the hashtag allowed it to be remembered as the LGBT community tragedy and not just an act of terrorism. Again, celebrities, corporations, and political figures take to social media to show their support for the victims of the Orlando tragedy and their families. Many other hashtags were used during this tragedy, such as Pray for Orlando, Orlando Strong, and End Gun Violence, which sparked a whole other movement among social media world and further united those that would like to see revised gun laws. The problem is that love hasn't won yet. Even though it's federally mandated that all states must allow same-sex marriage, states are attempting to pass individual bills, essentially allowing discrimination under the cloak of religion. One example is the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. Indiana took a lot of heat last year when the Religious Freedom Restoration Act was passed without a law specifically protecting the LGBT community from discrimination. Wedding vendors, childcare services that deal with adoption and childcare, Public safety can all refuse their services to same-sex couples by saying it's against their religious beliefs. So what can we do to continue the discussion and end these bills threatening to undermine the Supreme Court decision? Continue the conversation using hashtags like Repeal RFRA and Boycott Indiana to ensure all advocates are together and on the same page in the same space. Power in numbers.